Wow. Just wow. Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice was so amazing. I mean, I wouldn't say it's better than the last episode, but it had so many great moments. From, explaining more, making it more and more in sync with the Revenge of the Sith, with Obi-Wan coming on the comlink and talking about his thoughts on Dooku's death and saying how he's going to go to Grievous and talking about Anakin's special mission about spying on Chancellor Palpatine. Just made it feel a lot more real. Like, wow, this is actually, we're really becoming to start to see dark side Anakin, as far as like when this takes place at the same time of, and that was exciting. I didn't think Obi-Wan was going to be in it again, and I know he's not in there in person, but just seeing him on the hologram was still exciting and thrilling. And I like all the ideas that Maul knows what's going on. Maul knows there is no winners. He knows what's to come. He knows the Republic is going to fall. He knows the Separatists is going to fall, and the Emperor and the Empire will rise. And it almost seems like that crazy, like one of those things where nobody just believes him. And he's living in a world where he's trying to avoid the very thing that nobody really can expect. Because he was one of the first people, who Sidious probably told. And to live with that knowledge for years, only to let that squander, and the idea that it's so left field for Anakin to turn dark side, for the clones to execute Order 66, and that he knows, and that makes it all the more special, this episode. And him wanting to layer Skywalker in just to kill him, just to get his revenge on Sidious, it's just so amazing, and stuff you don't expect. And let's talk about that lightsaber battle. Ray Park's doing the motion capture does not disappoint at all. There's definitely two parts to this battle, that are so splendid and so amazing. And by far, not by far, but definitely the best lightsaber battle in the show's history. Just the setting of being like surrounded by war on all fronts is fantastic. Whether you talk about being in the air and looking down at the bombs and explosions, or that amazing shot where the explosion comes and all the glass flies over Maul and Ahsoka in slow motion, fantastic. And again, like that, those battles are amazing. The clones versus Maul's Mandalorian battalions, amazing. Bo-Katan versus Gar Saxon, amazing. Gar Saxon killing Olmec was so out of left field, so amazing. And just like revealing so many secrets about Maul's plan, to the point where like, wow, this is all making sense. It made me chill. It gave me chills when you realize Maul would rather die than see Sidious's plan, go to fruition, and especially seeing Maul get captured, Saxon and Rook Cass get captured, Olmec being dead. You start to realize, wow, this is only half the battle, and yet the battle they wanted to fight was done. So there's one thing left: Order 66. And if we're being honest, that's enough, for an hour left, because that shakes everything. Order 66 shakes everything in its boots. Maul escaping, Rex taking out his inhibitor chip, Rex and Ahsoka having to survive. There's so many layers of this arc that go beyond just simply Mandalorian versus Mandalorian and clones. It goes beyond it goes into Revenge of the Sith, Order 66, the founding of the Empire. And that's just so amazing to behold in a whole. Because you see, again, all these different layers, all these pieces coming together from the meeting with Obi-Wan, and realizing, like, Ahsoka doesn't view eye to eye with the, Jedi Temple and the Jedi Council either. It's all amazing. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about that lightsaber battle. So amazing. So amazing. Like that sky view with the lights. And I think it was just amazing. It was just amazing seeing the amazing choreography in the animation quality in the fight. Made it all the more exciting with some of the coolest moves that, oh my god, I would love to replicate, but obviously I can't do that. But it's still so exciting and definitely like one of the greatest versions of Maul as far as, you know, performances of Maul. It was just amazing to see like someone who knows what's going on ahead of time and will do anything at any cost to get the job done, including helping with Ahsoka. And Ahsoka was going to join Maul until, you know, Maul realizes what happens to Anakin, which what makes me to believe that Ahsoka will learn by the end of the arc who Anakin becomes. But I think even then she doesn't believe it. Because remember, I rewatched Twilight of the Apprentice yesterday. And in that arc, or episode, I should say, is when she truly believes, when she truly can believe Darth Vader was Anakin. And I truly believe, like, not too many people speculate about Ahsoka, you know, fully realizing that Darth Vader is Anakin in this arc, but now Ahsoka saying Maul's vision was false will make it all the more emotional when she does figure out who Vader is. And that's just interesting and exciting. And when she realizes, wow, the Republic's falling, the Separatists is falling, and when she finally starts to realize, wow, Maul was right. Wow. But that doesn't mean she's going to trust Maul. By no means. You know, there's a reason why she didn't trust Maul in the first place. And it's just so exciting to behold all of it. All of everything that's going on. And I think it just is amazing. Because, like, the battle sequences. Because, like, part of what we came into this arc for was the amazing Mandalorian versus clone battles. And again, we've had so many of that from last week when you got, you know, the fight in the air or the fight in the tunnel. But now, literally, the fight on the bridge was so exciting in this episode when you got the clones versus the Mandalorians and Bo-Katan in the mix and all that stuff. It's just nonstop action. It feels like a movie. It just does. It just does. I think in the sense that it's just a big war. Cause like you don't, where it's a war that you care about, and a war that keeps unraveling its mysteries. You know, because you get the sense that the stakes are there. While you know that not a lot of these characters are gonna die, you know the stakes are there because of what's gonna have the effect on these characters, one way or another. And seeing it was just amazing. And it was just amazing seeing Crimson Dawn, you know, in there with Dryden Vosk. It was just amazing. It was amazing how all these pieces are coming together to set up Solo, to set up Revenge of the Sith, Rebels. And you know, that's just so exciting to me. As a Star Wars fan, it is exciting because you get these nods to these other films, but also unraveling a story that you're so invested in, like this Siege of Mandalore story. But I think what makes this whole arc so amazing is the events that cause the Siege of Mandalore and what the Siege of Mandalore is about has to do directly with Revenge of the Sith, with Solo. Because the whole reason why Maul wants this power, wants to bring attention to this war, is to layer the Jedi in. And I think that is just so amazing to me. As a die-hard Star Wars fan, seeing something that you've been waiting for so many years happen, and you're just blown away by it. Because this episode does not disappoint at all. Favorite, some of the greatest battles of the show history in this arc. Some of the most emotional moments in this arc, from Ahsoka and Anakin's final moments together. You know, from Ahsoka starting to realize what's really going on, and seeing her first time hearing about the fathom, the possibility that Anakin could become a Sith, to the battle of Darth Maul versus Ahsoka. And I love the ending of this episode. As yes, it's a cliffhanger nonetheless, but seeing Ahsoka on that broken bridge, just looking up, and as you could see the bombs in the background, and you realize, like, wow. You know, to go from that girl who was just excited to do anything to now fully realizing, like, wow, this is not how it seems. You know, we're realizing, like, just putting through the options of, could what Maul said, could that be true? Because in every lie, there's a bit of truth. And while in the moment she might say that could never be possible, but you just know. Knowing Ahsoka for all these seasons, in Rebels, in Clone Wars, you realize, you know, in the back of her head, in the back of her mind, you know she's running through all the possibilities. And I cannot wait for Order 66, for her to realize what's truly going on. And it'll escalate quickly, because not only did you just fought a hard-fought war, you also have to realize, wow, our soldiers are turning against us. It's just so many. This Siege of Mandalore works on all these levels, because it works upon the best levels of the Revenge of the Sith and this, meaning the levels of the Empire Rising to Order 66, on top of dealing with Maul and dealing with these Mandalorians. And it'll be exciting because, yes, they captured all these Mandalorians, but you know, as soon as Order 66 happens, who's guarding them? Because I think you'll definitely see, potentially, just the craziest thing ever. Because Ahsoka doesn't have another Jedi with her. You know, she has Bo-Katan, and it's just going to be her and Bo-Katan. Like, yes, Rex will ultimately take out his inhibitor chip, one way or another, but she's still on her own in many ways, because when she sees all these clones going against her, it's just, it's crazy. And so the Siege of Mandalore soon becomes Mandalorians versus clones. Because what's gonna happen? It's not like the Mandalorians. Who's gonna guard the Mandalorians and make sure they don't escape when the Siege of Mandalore goes on, or when Order 66 happens? And that brings me to a fascinating point. Does it mean like they'll kill Maul? I mean, yes, it's targeted to Jedi, but I'm to assume it's anybody who stands in their way, you know, and doesn't listen. Because ultimately they're becoming stormtroopers. Ultimately, they will become, again, the very thing you didn't want them to be. And so yeah, I'm sure they're gonna shoot Maul. I'm sure they're gonna shoot the Mandalorians, but you don't know for sure. So that'll also be exciting to see. Stay tuned for videos coming at you.